Hi, right, this morning we're going to make fish pate. Now you can use any fish you want for this, preferably a smoked fish, gives a really good flavour. It's really easy to make, obviously, because it's on my channel. If you use it as a starter, it is amazing with triangles of toast or crackers or French bread cut into wedges. It is amazing. Really impress your friends, but it's so easy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the recipe out and then I'm going to go through it because it is so easy. I'm going to show you how to make it. So we start with 75 millilitres of fresh double cream, 45 millilitres of mayo, 5 ml or 1 teaspoon of horseradish sauce, 225 grams of smoked mackerel I'm using. That's the fillets, you just get them in the supermarket, really easy. 1 teaspoon lemon juice, you can use the lemon in the squeeze of lemon, I've got fresh lemon, and just salt and pepper. And if you want to garnish it on top, you just pop a little bit of watercress. I haven't got that today because we're going to eat it straight away. Okay, so that's what you need. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to whip our fresh cream, make it really light and fluffy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to whisk it and I'll see you in a minute when it's whisked. Okay, so we are whipped. Just be very careful not to go past the creamy stage. This is light and fluffy and creamy. If you go past this stage, it won't be so soft. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the mackerel. I've done some of it in a bowl. When you get it in its packet, what it'll have is, if you haven't bought it before, is quite a hard skin on the back, but it peels off really easily, so that's not a problem. The front part, the top part of the mackerel, if you like, can be quite hard as well. So what I do, it's up to you, it depends what you like in your mackerel, but I just tend to take it off with a fork so it's nice and flaky. It just makes it really a nice smooth pate rather than having all the horrible bits in it. When you get down to the end of your fillet, you'll find that it is a lot softer and you can actually break it up with your fingers. But that hard top part, you really don't want in there. But this is not so bad at the end. I'll take that off with a fork as well, because that's tapping. Okay, so we have our meat in there, or fish. Nice meaty fish, this. You could do this with smoked salmon, you could do it with, as I say, mackerel. You could probably do it with smoked cod, to be honest. Okay, so I think that's all my little bits, don't want to waste any of this. Okay, so I've got the top half left of the skin and the bottom skin. Okay, which I'm going to dispose. You'll find it's an oily fish, so it will be quite oily. Your hands will get very greasy. Right, so 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise now go in here. Now I've got dessert spoons, I haven't got my tablespoon out, so. The joys of a squeezy vlog. And you can tell this is live. That's your banana. This does not want to come out. If you've got a jar, so much easier. Obviously I haven't got enough pushing power. Another one, just because I haven't got a tablespoon. assistance with that one, you can tell. Okay, that's that goes over there. Now you want horseradish sauce. This is to taste really. Some people like quite a lot of horseradish sauce, some people don't like much at all. So I think it adds a certain depth, and if you can get the creamy horseradish, brilliant. So my recipe gives a teaspoon. I'm going to put just a little bit more in because we quite like it. And it does add that zing. And a squidge of lemon. That says a teaspoon, I think. But when you've got fresh lemon, please be careful because there's a lot of pips in it. Okay, that's it. Now then, salt. Use pink Himalayan rock salt for us. And again, it is according to taste. And when you've finished it, have a little taste and see what you think you might need. For your taste, you might need a little bit more. Okay, and then we just stir it in. Now this, I've made quite a coarse pate. If I want to make this really super fine and super smooth, I'll make it in my food processor. And that gives a completely different texture, obviously, because it is blitzed. But today I'm doing it this way because basically I can't be bothered to get my food processor out. And it is only for our lunch, so. But it depends what sort of pate, if you like a coarse textured pate or a very smooth pate. It's the same method no matter what you're going to do. So, there. As I say, could not be easier, but it tastes divine. In fact, it smells lovely at the moment. Make sure that's really, really mixed in. So you haven't got any lumps of fish knocking around or pockets of just cream. Okay. Right, what I do now is I just take a very small amount and I taste it. See if it needs anything different. For me, it needs a little bit more lemon. Obviously, everybody's palate is different. I wash my hands after that lemon, and a little bit more pepper. Even smells a little bit better. And then what I do is I pop it in a serving bowl. Now if you're doing this for guests, you can just use individual ramekins. Pop it in there. It needs to go in the fridge for about 15 minutes, something like that, just so it's nice and cool. And it just firms up that little bit, because obviously you've been doing it in the kitchen, room temperature. And then you can garnish however you want. But this is for us to share, so for lunch, so really good. Got some nice French bread to go with that. But if I was doing this for guests, what I'd do is I'd do it in individual ramekins, and I would pop some watercress on the side. If you want this for guests, you can pop some watercress on it, but what I'm going to do, if I was doing it for guests, what I'd do is I'd pop some watercress in the middle in the individual ramekins, and I'd also serve a little slice of lemon on the side. Let's get rid There we go. And there's your pate. When it's been in the fridge, it will firm up. Enjoy. Okay, so I've had my pate in the fridge for about 15-20 minutes, and I've garnished it like that. Very, very simple. Just cut a thin slice of cucumber, cut it halfway up, twist and lay. But it looks effective if you're going to serve it as a starter. Okay. So thanks and enjoy.